Hey everyone, it's Rachel back with you. I hope that y'all had an absolutely amazing holiday week. But hey, it is a new week. We have a new video, so let's jump into it. Now, the topic of today's video is one that we've covered before, but it's one that I think could honestly be covered more in depth. So we are going to double back to it because again, when I first made that video, it was, over a year ago. I've grown, I've learned a lot of things in that year. So hey, let's jump into it. The topic of today's video is how to feminize, tips of feminizing without hormones. Obviously, sometimes getting hormones, we have to go through a little bit of medical gatekeeping. We have to go through waiting processes where hormones aren't readily available right there. Luckily, that was not my scenario. Luckily, I was able to get my hormones, lickety split. But I know not everyone is as lucky as I was. That being said, you don't have to wait for your hormones to start the feminizing process. And in doing that, I'm talking through completely 100% non-medicinal ways. Now, as far as how that's done, honestly, if you look at me, I've been on hormones for almost 4 years. But if you look at me, there's subtle tips that you can see that maybe helped me in my feminizing journey. First and foremost would be my nails. Acrylic nails, that's normally, more of a feminine thing. Masculine guys don't have jazzed up nails. So getting acrylic nails, getting press-on nails, heck, even just painting your nails helps give you more of a feminine appearance. Another thing would be, just subtle piercings. For me, I have my ears pierced, I have my nostril pierced, and I have my belly button pierced. Now, those are all, typical feminine piercings. I know some guys have ear piercings, but there's not a lot of men that I know that have nostril piercings or belly button piercings. So for me, those were some of the first things I did when I started my transition, just to kind of help me feel feminine about myself. Another big thing is makeup. Makeup, look at some of the makeup artists out there and what they can do to literally help someone feminize who's never been on hormones before. They are absolute magicians. Now, I am nowhere near that level. But for me, learning how to do my makeup, I took literally one lesson at Ulta, and I learned some of the tips of the trade. And then after that, it was just practice. I know Ulta does lessons. I know Sephora does lessons. And then, even if you have a private party, maybe a friend who could teach you some makeup tips, stuff like that, hey, even better. But the biggest thing is practice. But the presence of that makeup can definitely go a long way to helping you gain a more feminine appearance. Outside of that, fashion choice. Fashion choice is another big one. I know, for me, pre-transition, I wore baggy jeans. I wore, just regular t-shirts from Walmart, t-shirts from Target. And now I wear more skinny jeans. Sometimes I'll wear mom jeans, but for the most part, it's more so skinny jeans. And my t-shirts are feminine cut. And that alone helps me gain more of a feminine appearance. Outside that, other big things, just certain accessories that you choose, even just necklaces. When I was pre-transition, I would normally wear a gold necklace. It was something that my grandma had gotten me. But I would wear, just more so like a gold necklace, no charms, no nothing of that sort. Now I'm no stranger to wearing, like chokers, wearing like necklaces with a little pendant here. I think that gives it more of a feminine appearance. Also, scrunchies, bracelets, anything like that on the wrist, I think really helps feminize my appearance, just my general appearance. Outside that hairstyle, pre-transition, I had a buzz cut, if you can believe that or not. And I started growing out my hair. I literally went 2 years without cutting my hair, and then I started getting it styled a little bit more, working with like an independent stylist. And then after that, I kind of grew impatient with getting it to grow longer. I really, really wanted long hair, always wanted long hair. And so one thing I ended up doing was getting hair extensions. So I have hair extensions, my natural hair, let's see, goes to about here. Yep, goes to about here. So all this is extension land. And I mean, for me, that was an absolute game changer in feminizing my appearance. Gave me that long, luscious, girly hair that I've always wanted. Now I know there are plenty of guys out there with long hair. There are plenty fine men out there with long hair, but for me, like, this was an absolute game changer in helping me feminize my appearance, and I think it would with or without hormones. Another big thing, and this is probably my biggest thing, if you look through any of my photos on Instagram, almost all of them from the last, 2 years have my lash extensions. These, I have a good friend literally use a super strong adhesive and literally glue these babies onto my natural lash. They stay on for about 2 to 3 weeks. Do not try this at home. Like, this is something you need to see someone licensed for, because it could go very badly very quickly if you have someone inexperienced doing them. But for me, they immediately help draw out my eyes, make my eyes just kind of sparkle. Another big thing, again, pre-hormones that you could do, it's not something I advertise all that much that I've done, but I have, is my lips. I've actually plumped them up with a little bit of filler just to give them more of a plump look. That's one thing I was always insecure about, was that I had these paper thin lips. And after a little bit of lip filler, hey, they are more plump, they're more feminine. I really think it helps feminize my face a little bit more. Now, I'm not gonna say at all that that is a cheap process, because it's not, but for me, it really helped my appearance, in my personal opinion. After that, kind of bringing me to my other big one that's more, I can cover in more detail in another video if y'all want me to, if the need arises. But fitness routine. Y'all, when I started my transition, my fitness routine totally changed. Now, I'm not gonna say that, like, I was this Adonis of a guy, because I wasn't. That really never was me. I didn't start going to the gym religiously until I started my transition. And part of that was, I was in between living spaces at the time. There was a brief moment in time where I was living in my car, for a span of maybe a month. But in that time, I would literally, I worked here, I slept here at the church across the street, and there was a Planet Fitness a block away. So I literally would work, sleep, gym, shower, clean up, work, sleep, gym, shower, clean up, work, sleep, so on and so forth. So I got really into the gym, because I was going there anyway, so we might as well make the most out of this. But with that, I kind of learned more of a fitness routine. When I was pre-transition, it was all, I want to lift everything heavy, just as much weight as I can muster. That's what I want to do because I want to be big. I want to be strong. I want to be jacked. And now the goals kind of changed. I want to be toned. I want to be skinny. I want a flat tummy, but I want muscles and I want a booty. So, essentially what I started doing was instead of just all high weight, low rep work, I flipped the script. And when I do weight work, I do low weight, high rep. Sorry, I had to think about this so I don't confuse it. Low weight, high rep. And I do that to stay toned, but also burn calories. On top of that, I do more cardio than I had previously because my main goal right now, for me at least, is losing weight. Now, I am by no means a fitness instructor, but I feel that in doing that has helped me slim down. But I've also done high weight work in certain areas where I want more muscle, more result. And that's right back here where I'm sitting, if you catch my drift. So that's kind of my big thing, is in my fitness routine, I went from just gains to strategic planning gains, while also working on that cardio, working on that toning, just to keep myself slim, trim, yada yada. Now, obviously, I'm still a work in progress in that regard, but hey, it's coming along. And like I said, I can cover that in more detail in another video. That is something that's been requested. If more people are interested in that topic, I absolutely can cover that at more length. Excuse me. But again, those are kind of my tips on how to feminize without hormones. So if you're on that waiting list, you can start, playing around with some makeup. You can start fiddling with your hair, whether it be extensions, whether it be just how you style it, how you color it. You can potentially look into lash extensions if that's what you want. Certain things like fashion, accessories, and piercings, items of that sort, like that doesn't need hormones. Your nails, that doesn't need hormones. That's something you can start day one. So if you're socially transitioning without any medication, that will help you, kind of tippy-toe into presenting more of a feminine persona. But yeah, so that is my topic of today. Obviously, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear any and all tips and tricks that maybe I didn't think about. But outside of that, my friends, as always, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram with more topic suggestions, or hey, leave them in the comments section of this video as well. I always read those. I would love to get, feedback on potential topics in the future. On top of that, as always, I am going to have my GoFundMe in the description of this video as well, as I am preparing for bottom surgery. That is more and more paramount every day. But hey, we're doing phenomenal on that as well. I could not thank the people who have donated enough. And on that note, my friends, I will leave you for today. It's been great talking to you, but I will see you next week. All right, my friends, as always, good seeing you. I love you. Goodbye.